Welcome, everybody, to the Spirit Tribe Tea Talk. We're so glad that you're here. This is our monthly podcast. Make sure you join us every second Wednesday of every single month, where we gather to drink tea and chat about all the things spiritual, metaphysical, and beyond the known realm. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up for you today. Our guest today is Gary with Grateful Violet. We're going to be discussing pranic healing, and I really want you to like, share, and follow us. And if you're here right now with us, please drop your name in the comment section. Let us know you're here, because coming up in a short while, we're going to be giving away something special, but you got to stick with us to the end of the podcast. This is only while we're doing it live, so make sure you let us know that you're here right now. We're going to be talking today about, we'll do our stone of the day. I believe that's Obsidian. We're going to talk about pranic healing, of course, the full moon, and discussing spirit boards, or Ouija boards as they are often known. So thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Grab your cup of tea, sit down, and relax with us. It's the Spirit Tribe Tea Talk.
Cheers. Cheers. All right, guys. Well, Val, let's start off with the full moon today.
All right. You may have noticed that things are, let me see. I'm going to come up with a very technical term for the energy of this moon. It's bananas. It's absolutely nuts right now. So if you've been feeling anxious, if you've been feeling like this is a lot, none of your electronics seem to be working the way that they should, and you feel like you're just losing your mind, you're not. It's this moon. This moon is a very emotional moon. It's the full harvest moon. From an astrological point of view, it's in perigee. The moon is closer to us than it's going to be all year long. Apogee means that it's farthest away. Right now it's in perigee. So it's very close to us right now. So the feeling of that moon is really having a lot of influence on all of us, both emotionally, physically. If you're not feeling like yourself, you're not losing your mind. This is really happening. Right now, you might feel like emotional revelations are coming through. Suddenly, you're getting clarity on something. Suddenly, something that you've been doing for a long time is not working anymore. You just want to get rid of it. This is a good time to journal, to cleanse, to purge, to get rid of all of that stuff. Now, the full moon was actually on Monday. If you're a Duran Duran fan, that's probably people on YouTube. But the full moon on Monday we're still feeling the energy of that. We felt it a few days ahead of time. We're still feeling it. Go outside, take a little moon bath in it wherever you can. Even if you've got some cloud cover, do it anyway. Just feel the energy of this moon while you can. We've got some more full big harvest moons coming up too. And November 5th and December 4th, we're going to also have a pretty bright moon then as well, as the moon begins to move into apogee. So we've still got the moon pretty close to us. This is the time for illumination and closure. It's going to help us integrate the lessons of the fall and prepare for our winter's introspection. So there you go. There's the energy of your full moon this month.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thanks, and if you're just joining, make sure drop your name in the comments for the prize. All right.
There's the echo.
Welcome. Val, can you introduce our guest, please?
Absolutely. Our guest today is Gary. He's with Grateful Violet. Now, Grateful Violet, he does pranic healing. He does little small tune-ups for your chakra system. No one is going to explain it better than Gary. So Gary with Grateful Violet, thank you so much for being with us today on the Spirit Tribe Tea Talk podcast. Gary's here. We're having a few technical issues. So just hang out with us one more time. I just wanted to remind you, drop your name in the comments section if you're here so that you're eligible to win our little prize at the end of this. Hello, Gary.
He probably needs Frankie to say hello.
To say something, yeah.
All right, Gary, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, thanks. Hi, thanks, Frankie, and the gang for having me on today. I appreciate it. So I guess a little bit of a background. So I've had a lot of interest in spirituality, religion, esoteric type things, since the early 90s. And then I became involved with heartfulness meditation, probably 15 years ago or so. And then eventually, which the concept there is that the teacher, it's based in India, but it's in over 140 countries at this point. And so becoming a trainer or a preceptor, then you go through training, but you also have sittings where you're actually being cleaned. And then you have to go through a final meditation with the master, with the teacher. So once I did that, then I was center coordinator at our ashram, and we had a really nice ashram. Heartfulness works on donations, but we learned how to clean the heart chakra on each side, and then we can transmit. So the teacher is a conduit for source energy from the creator, and then a point in the heart chakra is opened up to where we can transmit that. So that's something that probably was able to be done by people like Yogananda, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, but then they were able to spread that out to other people to be able to do the work. So then as center coordinator, we put on events, and then we were out in the public a lot, doing things. And then there was two pranic healers who wanted to put on a free demonstration. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I attended as I usually did, and I'm like, this stuff works. And so how do I take a class? So I found they guided me to a local person. So I took level 1 class. And this was back in 2016. So I took the level 1 class in August, like a month later. That was in July. And then another heartfulness trainer went with me because she also knew this teacher. And as they were describing it, and I'm just like, this is what we do in heartfulness, but we don't call it energy work. So then I took the 3 basic levels of level 1, level 2, and level 3 over the course of a year. And then, so basically, Pranic Healing is a touchless method of doing healing work, which can be done remotely, which is how I do most of my work. It can be done in person or on Zoom. But we use colors because certain colors have certain properties for cleaning. So we clean and energize. So, and that's going to be chakras. We have specific protocols that we follow for physical healing. So all systems of the body are covered. And then we follow those protocols for that specific situation. And then we also do mental and emotional healing. And that's the level 3 class, psychotherapy. So trauma, addiction, anxiety, depression, and addiction. So we're trained on how to work with those things. So we just follow the protocol. If it's twice a week, that's what we do. And then we constantly check in with the client and see how they're doing, if they want to continue, if they're noticing a difference. And that's kind of like in a nutshell. But there's a lot of other things that we're trained in. So a lot of different protocols, which I think I'm having one in the giveaway today is the tune-up. So I've just kind of put a lot of things together that I do at fairs and that I offer on my website that we measure chakras. So if they're out of alignment, most of the time the lower chakras are overactivated or congested, so we can bring them back into align by cleaning and then energizing with a certain color that inhibits, and we get them back into alignment. We can also measure your spiritual cord, what you're getting through the crown, and also your earth cord. And then we can measure the aura. We can cleanse and energize the aura through sealing the cracks, and then untangling the health rays allows negative energy to escape your aura. And then we can measure for cords, mainly in the front. And then we can measure for those and see if you have cords, unwanted connections. And then we cut those, in a specific way and dispose of those properly. And then clean and energize 9 of the 11 major chakras, body chakras that Pranic Healing goes by. So that's kind of like in a nutshell, man. Those are all just pieces of some protocols. We don't always do that on every protocol, but I decided to put that together for that purpose. If you have situations with the eyes, I've worked on people with cataracts before. Sciatica is probably the most popular. That's an emotional issue. So that has to do with the front and back solar plexus, because everything is attached to the liver on that level. So all the chakras are related have a psychological function, a physiological function, and a spiritual function. So if there's an issue like a body, then we're going to be also working not only on that body part, but also on the chakras to cleanse and energize. And that's one of the things that Harpfulness taught me, was like the cleaning is the most important part. And then when that was emphasized in Pranic Healing, I was like, okay, it's like, this is the path I'm supposed to be on. It made a lot of sense. Because, if you have a wound, you're going to clean it first, and then you're going to, put the ointment or, the energizement on that to help accelerate the healing. So the purpose of Pranic Healing. Yes.
How long is a treatment generally?
It all, like, it depends on the protocol. So it can be as easy as, like, say, sciatica. That takes like 20 minutes. We have cancer protocols, and those take like an hour. So it all depends. So if someone calls me, I have a 15-minute consult on my website, and that lets me say, okay, what's the issue? And then I'm going to look it up in the book and say, okay, here's how this, we do it 3 times a week. It's going to take 15, 20, minutes, a half an hour. I don't know. That's where it gets a little complicated in some ways, because it's hard for people to understand that. Because if I'm going to work on you, for 15 minutes, and it calls for twice a week, for example, or even 3 times a week, and I'm going to calculate, well, this is how long it's going to take me to do. And then, that's like the constant check-in with people to see how they're doing, on that level. So does that answer your question? So it's all fluid.
Yeah, it does. That was my question. Because I was trying to go back into recollection where I had a session with you. It was like a mini session. So.
You hear me, Frankie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She's just mentioning about the session he had with you.
Oh, okay.
Ditto. He did a short session with me as well. And yeah, and it was really good. And he did a little bit more extended to cut some cords, and he's also doing intuitive work when he's actually in those chakras. So just anybody that's wanting to do a session, that's a bonus.
So you do intuitive work and it touches the chakras as well.
Okay. Oh, no, that's great. Well, just because we're having technical difficulties on my end, so this is a little bit different. So thanks for that. So the premise, or one of the premises behind Pranic Healing, is like, I don't consider myself a healer, because we're just freeing up the body's ability to naturally heal itself. So if you have blockages in the chakras, or if you have issues in the body, we clean, we energize, follow the protocol. So the body just wants to be in natural alignment automatically. So I've had people actually kind of argue with me a little bit. You are a healer. And I'm like, well, I'm just a pipe. I'm just a conduit, which I learned in Harpfulness, and that also is emphasized in Pranic Healing as well. If you're really thirsty, you've been outside working hard or whatever, and you have a nice, cool glass of water, you're thinking, man, this is great water. You're not thanking the pipes that bring it to you. So I'm just a conduit. I'm just a pipe. So on that level, and Master Choa, who basically, Pranic Healing is an ancient healing method. This is just my direct contact with Master Choa. He left the body in 2007. He's one of my guides. That he basically kind of modified it for this time period and updated it a little bit. But he used 2 clairvoyants independent of each other. So he would work on somebody with colors for an issue. It's okay. He would ask them both, and if you got corroboration between the 2 of them, he's like, that's going to work. He was an engineer, but always had a fascination with spirituality, and always did a lot of reading. So he took a scientific approach to the healing aspect. And the same can be said for Harpfulness as well. The second teacher who I came in, the second master, Charging, he was an engineer as well. And then the current teacher, Daji, or Kamlesh Patel, he was a pharmacist. So there are practical applications on that level. Uh-oh, I just went blank, Frankie. Here we go.
They were asking who you learned from.
Oh, there he went. I think
We
his
lost
signal
him.
went out,
Yeah.
or his phone died.
He'll be back.
Frankie, you're
Yeah.
muted.
So anyway, that was really fascinating.
That was fascinating. So I have a question about the cord cutting. Can you guys talk about what that was like? Is that something
Well,
that you're
he
willing to
talked
talk about?
about, yeah, he talked about,
Dave,
he asked me a few things that were going on,
what's the
and then he
question again?
talked about,
Who did I learn
explain to
from?
him what we're talking about really quick.
Wait a minute.
They're talking about the cord cutting, Gary. So
Yes.
They're explaining what you did when you did their little treatment when you were in Utah.
Okay.
Yes, well, tell him to talk about that first, and then I can talk about my experience.
All right. She said, why don't you explain what you did for their mini treatments and they'll talk about their experience.
Say that again.
She said, talk about your treatment that you did with them, and then they want to comment on how it was.
Oh, okay. So that was the tune-up, which I kind of described before. So we measure. First thing we do is measure chakras. That's done a lot in our protocols because we want to see. So if there's any, like I said before, most people's lower chakras, front and back solar plexus, navel, sex, and root, or what we call basic chakra, they're overactivated. They're huge. So basically, I've only met one person. She had underactivated chakras, and she had a specific issue going on. So that's pretty typical because we get a baseline on the aura,
Wow.
and then that tells us where the chakras should be. So we just go the crown, the forehead, ajna, throat, heart's always larger, and then those lower chakras are all the same size or bigger than the heart chakra. So we clean and energize with a certain color that inhibits. It's the same one that we use to stop bleeding. So we clean an area that's bleeding, and then we can use that color to constrict those blood vessels to stop the bleeding. And then cord cutting. So I kind of cheat around it. I don't measure all of them. I just ask my guidance, if someone has cords, and I just go down the list. So then we measure them, and then we cut them, and they have to be cut and disposed of properly because there's two different cuts going on. We initially cut it and then throw it to a church. I always throw it to the Vatican just because I travel so much and I'm at fairs. I don't know where the local churches are. And then we actually pull out the roots, and then we clean and energize that chakra. And I've actually seen physical responses to that because the most popular is the Ajna chakra. That's your CEO of the chakras. That's your higher will. So people trying to control you. And then also, solar plexus, that's your lower will, which could be either good or bad. And then sometimes the sex chakra, someone looks at me, oh yeah, she's hot. So most of it's unconscious and is pretty, meaningless, but sometimes people are trying to control you and get into your energy. So we cut those, and then the aura, like I said, you have 5 lines on the aura, front and back. So we'll seal the cracks front and back, and then untangle the health rays. So untangling health rays allows negative energy to escape, and then clean and energize 9 of the 11 major body chakras. There's a couple of chakras we really don't mess with too much unless it's in a protocol. And I usually ask when I'm at fairs if I should work on, the spleen chakra or the Ming Meng chakra. And those are 2 we usually don't mess with a whole lot unless it's needed in a protocol. So that's what I did, and just by doing that, that's why I call it the tune-up. I do it on myself like twice a week. It's just maintenance on that level. So that gives someone a taste for pranic healing,
That's cool.
and its effectiveness. And then if people, if they have specific issues, physically, mentally, emotionally, then they can call me and we can work through that. Are there any other questions?
So he can work on specifics.
Okay.
Yeah.
If people are interested in becoming a pranic healer, pranichealing.com. There's classes going on. You just have to get on the site and look at that. There's also a lot of other classes that they offer other than the healing classes. They also teach how to use crystals because that amplifies your healing ability like 10 to 100 times. And then there's various classes like the Lord's Prayer class, and that teaches basically the Lord's Prayer is associated with chakras, each line. So then Master Cho has put a class together. He has a book about that. He has meditations on that that he does with the chakras, and then he does it with the Kabbalistic method that the Kabbalah uses, because the 11 major body chakras that Pranic Healing acknowledges, that's basically the inverted tree of life of Kabbalah. Because the inverted tree of life, the roots come in and into the crown. That's why it's inverted. So those 11 points, and they have names, they correlate with the 11 major body chakras that Master Cho identified. So there's that piece. There's spiritual essence of man. That also gets into Kabbalah a little bit. Crystals, oneness with the higher soul, and then 3 different classes, the inner teachings of Buddhism, Christianity, and Hinduism. There's Kriya Shakti, which is creativity and how to manifest things by writing. Things that you want in your life, and then feng shui is another one, your house and how things are situated, things like that on a spiritual level. So there's a lot of different offerings within that. And then Pranic Healing also offers a spiritual path, which is called Arhatic Yoga. And that is a fast track to getting a lot of lives done in one lifetime. So, and it's even more ancient than Pranic Healing. So there's 4 different meditations that we do throughout the week, but there's always exercises, breathing exercises. We have a method for actually removing karmic seeds, and there's 5 areas of the virtues that we work on, and you can actually measure them when you're done. You can taste them, and then you throw them to the sun, and ask God, to burn all those up. And then the other thing that's a part of that is Super Brain Yoga, which is free, which is the one free thing that Master Choa, decided to put out to the public, and you can find information on that on YouTube. And there's a book about it as well. But that's basically for brain alignment specifically for kids with ADHD and autism. But that's also part of our practice. So
does that work for
you feel a lot of
adults?
sorts, you can do Super Brain Yoga, and there's a specific technique to that.
They want to know if that works for adults, Gary.
Yes, yeah, I do. I did it today. I'm doing my practice this week. So yeah, we do it. It's part of our regimen.
I'm looking into the Super Brain Yoga.
It is Arhatic. You have to take it slow. There's usually like 2 years in between levels. I just upped the level back in March, and I had to wait 3 years. Because if you go too fast and if you're not doing your practice, it'll wreck your life, because it's basically chakra work and aura work and character development. So I'm just saying there's a lot of different offerings. And plus Pranic Healing also does a lot of service work and charity work, with feeding, clothing, medical supplies. This was started in the Philippines. So, in those areas of the world, not that we don't have poverty, but it's really bad in some of those other countries. So they do a lot of work, and all the classes have different pieces of esoteric or wisdom that you're getting peppered with all the time, even during the healing classes. So they're connecting things on that level. So I'm very blessed to be a part of that, and Heartfulness as well.
They're asking.
Yeah.
They're asking if you teach these classes too, or are you just a healer and not a master?
Oh, they do have ways that you can be, because there's 8 masters right now who are leading the work, and there's some other people underneath them who do a lot of work too. They do have like a certification program, and I've asked my guidance, is that something I need to do, and it's not something for me to do. Because I have some other things coming in at some point, so I'm kind of waiting patiently.
What is that? Was it heartfulness?
But that being said, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kendra.
Was that heartfulness? What was he calling the name of that?
It said, was it heartfulness, or what did they call the name of?
Yeah, heartfulness meditation.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
What?
That perfect.
What
Thank
about
you.
it?
He's just you. She
Oh,
just wanted to write
yeah.
it down.
You can find things on YouTube about it. Kamlesh Patel, or Gaji, is the teacher now. He's the master.
Okay.
I've spent time with him, so I'm very grateful and fortunate to actually be around a true master. Master Cho had already left the body, but I'm connected with him, and that's the thing about taking the classes. I've read, talk to people here. It's actually someone here at the Tucson Fair said, "Oh yeah, I've read those books and I use that." And sometimes I don't say anything, but to her, because I kind of knew her, I'm like, "Look, you got to take the classes because there's techniques taught in the classes and you actually get to practice. And there's techniques that are not talked about in the book. Plus, you also make the connection with Master Choa in the higher realms, heaven, whatever your term is, higher dimension.
Yeah.
So that's also a key, and that's something I usually don't say, but this is a little bit different podcast.
Yeah.
I've been on
Safe space.
podcasts with just the normies, and so you gotta kind of watch what you say a little
Not
bit.
us. Not us.
So yeah, I mean, it's both of those programs are great. Like when I did Arhatic yoga, when I started that, I had to tell myself I just have to start doing Arhatic yoga, because I was like, I can't do both of these. It's too time consuming. And after the first week of doing Arhatic yoga, in 2018, I started the 1st of January. At the end of the week, I could tell I was different. I can't quantify that.
Wow.
So I was like, well, this is it right here. If I can tell, then this is the path for me. So they're like step down transformers. And that's the same thing in heartfulness and pranic healing. You have to put in the work. And that's the same thing. I guess it'd be a good time to kind of segue into A Course in Miracles, which is kind of the same concept, but a lot different. So if people aren't familiar with A Course in Miracles, that is Jesus's message, for the new teachings. Just like Master Choa updated the teachings of pranic healing, which wasn't called pranic healing back in the day. So, and also pranic healing, prana is the life force around us, or chi in China, ki in Japan. So we're just able to use the life force that's all around us, the prana. But A Course in Miracles, Jesus basically transmitted this message to Helen Schuckman. I think that's how you pronounce her last name, over a period of 7 years. So there's a power number, a spiritual number. And it took another 3 or 4 years before it was actually published in 1976. So there's a text, and then there's the workbook, which is the daily lessons. And then you have a teacher's manual, and then there's a glossary of terms, because the terms that Jesus is using is different than maybe the definition of what you think they are.
Right.
So my recommendation would be, and this is what I did. I did the course 5 or 6 years ago, and I just did the workbook. And I'm like, okay. And then it re-entered my life this year through a book called Gary Renard called Disappearance of the Universe. And it's even recommended in his books that you read The Disappearance of the Universe first. It's going to give you a lot of core concepts. He had 2 ascended masters visit him over a period of 8 or 9 years for The Disappearance Universe, and now they've helped him with some other books. Because basically what Jesus is offering you is a way to come back home. And so the mind was split, like we could call it the Big Bang, and then we had a choice. So I wonder if anybody can guess which story this is telling. So then we had a choice. We can go with the ego mind, or we can stick with the right mind of God. And we've all chosen, the ego mind, and that's why we're in our situation. So we're just projecting our inner world out to the outer world. So what Jesus brings in through the workbook is daily lessons that you work on those as you go through, because he's gently bringing us back home. Because so the course talks about it being this is an illusion, which doesn't really help anybody, but it's a dream, So if you have kids, if you see your young child is dreaming and having a nightmare or whatever, and they're really fussing around, you don't like shake them awake as they wake up. You gently, wake them up, and that's what Jesus is doing in this process. He's slowly walking us back home, because it's healing the unconscious mind. So our unconscious mind, which is just like an iceberg, there's so much more that we don't see. So the foundation of the course is forgiveness, and not in the same old forgiveness that we've been used to, because you forgive the person if you have any upset, but then you also have to forgive yourself because it's not real. This is all an illusion. You know, anything that you see is not going to be here in 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, including us. This is our own construct. This is our own projection. So we're really only one, but we perceive it. The ego mind has split everything in separation, including time and space. So what Jesus is trying to do is have us come back home. And then when you do this forgiveness, and it's all the time, you know, if you get triggered or upset with something, you forgive them because it's not real. It really didn't happen. And you forgive yourself and your mind for perceiving it as such. And then that's where, you know, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, God comes in to heal the unconscious mind.
All right, Gary. Well, we're so glad to have you on the show today. And I just want to see if the girls have any questions for you.
Okay.
Do you girls have any further questions for Gary?
I don't. I
No.
think it was amazing. I thank you for sharing.
Yeah, definitely worth the energy work that he does, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And a few of you had treatments at the show. Any comments?
Yeah. Well, the cord cutting for me, well, I felt a lightness after he went through the chakras, but then the cord cutting, you could feel like a pull. And I didn't know where he was in each chakra, but then he said, later when we discussed it, he pulled right there from my third eye chakra, and I jumped. I didn't know he was there, but there must have been some type of cord going on, and you could feel it just, and I jumped, and he was like, "Did you know I was right there?" And I had no idea where he was, but it was the cord cutting. If anybody's interested in that, I suggest it, definitely.
She's just talking about the cord cutting, Gary. So we're going to go on with the show. So you're welcome to stay, but I'm going to.
Can I just add a few more things really quick?
We just got a couple minutes.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. So just if you go to gratefulviolet.com, that's my website. I also do generational ancestral healing through Pranic Healing, weight loss, facelift, body sculpting. You can lift, firm, tighten up, make things bigger, make things smaller. I also do spiritual coaching and life coaching. And I also do touch healing. And I have a touch healing method, self-guided touch healing method I was gifted with, along with hands-on healing, which can be done remotely as well. And then I also do a men's circle. So I was trained in neo-Jungian concepts of male masculinity. I'm not doing a group now, but all that information and more information is on my website. And you can just give me a call anytime.
Helen, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Gary, for being on the show. If you want to contact Gary, his information is at the end, as well as it's going to be on the website, so you can contact him then if you need to contact him for any kind of treatments or what he's doing. So feel free for that. So what we're going to go to next is who has the card today? Who's doing the reading today?
I think that's Shannon.
All right, Miss Shannon, you ready to give us a message?
Can you put her on the screen?
All right.
There she is.
You know, he was talking about how he could do lifts and stuff like that. Have y'all just checked out? I noticed this the other day about myself, and you're going to laugh. Because this is the only time I would think about getting Botox. I'm just going to put that out there. Do you know, because I looked this up, and I'm not the first person that's looked it up, because when you look something up on Google, and it already pops up, you know somebody's already done it, right? So I was washing my hands like a good person after using the bathroom, TMI, too much information. And I look, and in that mirror, and I see, you know, you get wrinkles in your earlobes, okay?
Oh my God.
And so then I'm smiling at myself because I'm trying to figure out how do you get the wrinkles in your earlobes. Anyway, so I know you all are going to go back there, but I'm going to get Botox in my earlobes because
earlobes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
they
crazy,
need fillers.
Shannon. Only you.
I'll join you for other areas.
So the harvest moon, like Val was saying, does represent a very powerful time for abundance, gratitude, reflection, and release of those things. But the Aries energy calls for bold action at this point in time. Heart-centered, not mind, heart-centered. So if you are definitely connected mind and heart, which you should be, then you're already half the battle's already won there. But you need to definitely make sure it's heart-centered as well. And use this time to prioritize yourself and redefine your life. Okay. Don't get stuck on the details of how. That's not important. Don't get stuck on those details. This is where you need to just let it go and trust that universe and source has got your back. The card that I did for today was gate 2, allowing. Okay. And it really hit me in the gut, and then it smacked me in the back of the head throughout the day as things are coming in. So the challenge in this card, if you think you already, I've got it going on and I'm aligned and all that kind of stuff, the challenge is to incrementally increase from where you're at today going forward, right? And what you are willing to allow. That's the key word, allow. We can say, I want this, I'm going to do this, I have my vision board. You can have all that kind of stuff. You can look at it every day. You can say your affirmations every day. But if you are not in a space to allow yourself to receive, it will not happen. So you need to set the intentions for your authentic self, okay? And then completely trust that you are supported and take action towards your goal. Now, if you're like me, sometimes you're like, okay, I got that part, but how do I do that? I allow myself. I like to receive stuff. I like good stuff to happen to me. Well, that would be the shadow side of yourself and not realizing that would be the unbalanced part. You can recognize that in yourself. But if you're having an increased amount or still feeling stressed, okay, more than normal, or you have unhealthy fear taking that next step forward, and it compromises your authenticity, because then you accept you accept yourself smaller instead of letting yourself go big. So you need to really make sure you align yourself into your authentic self. Okay. This is saying also on your lower side is, this is where you can really do a lot of self-sabotage. And that's where it's like, let it go. Just let it go and be authentic with yourself. Okay. So
I hear the song
now,
Frozen in my head. I'm sorry, Shannon. Let it go, let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah.
I also was right before the podcast, I was encouraged or highly recommended that I also look at drawing a card from the 4 agreements to go along with this as a treat for y'all. So I'm going to do this here.
I love that.
Let's see. Okay. And we have. Okay. And Drew, don't make assumptions. Eliminate gossip.
Oh, I like
Okay.
it.
So on this, it's saying making assumptions is a setup for suffering, because usually we gossip about our assumptions. We make assumptions and believe we are right. Then we defend our assumptions and try to make others wrong. And it goes very well with allowing, because at the same time, if we do not step into our authentic self and truly figure out what we want to do and what we need to let go, our ego will finish that story, and it will finish the story, keeping us in that small location. So I encourage you all to sit with this in reflection throughout the rest of the week, because we will still have the energy of the full moon. Let go of what does not serve you, and blessings to all.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
that.
you, Shannon. That was
That's pretty
me
good.
too.
Nice. Okay.
Need that 4 agreements deck.
I know it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, Val.
I like that deck.
How many of you have read the 4 agreements?
I have.
That was my first spiritual book I ever read, because my friend promised me it was an easy read, because I'm not an avid reader.
Easy read.
Oh, sure.
It was small. That was
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we go into the little spookiness, let's go back and let me do the crystal. Right. So the crystal that I picked today, guys, was black obsidian, and I have this beautiful black obsidian. Has some gold flecks, if you can see, but it's this beautiful oval sphere.
Mhm.
So black obsidian is considered a protection stone that shields against negativity and with truth enhancing properties. It is said to bring clarity to the mind, draw out mental stress and tension that sometimes leads to confusion. You can carry it with you to help ward off negative forces or keep the stone in your home, office, or any place you need protective energy. So it's a stone of protection. So I like that. So I want to see who else has some black obsidian.
I had black obsidian until I gave it to somebody that needed it.
Wow.
Now I know which stone I need to. Now I know which stone I need to replace.
There you go. Vale's got that one. All right. A little square one. I love it. Is there some flecks in it, Val, or a little color?
No, this is pretty dark black all the way around.
Okay. Nice.
You know what I've noticed about obsidian? It is so protective that if the vibes aren't being drawn away from the negative energy, you just take it and you toss it at someone's head.
Amen, sister.
Works every time.
Like a charm.
Yes.
All right. Kendra's got one. Let's see what you got, Kendra.
Yeah.
Nice. Yours just got color in it too.
Yeah, little squirrels.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Natalie, you got one?
No, I must have lost mine doing what Val said.
Okay.
No, I don't have mine.
All right. Danelle, Danelle's got a raw or
Oh, that one's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one kind of has a crazy story.
Oh,
But maybe we'll save it for okay. So there I was. No, my son when he was younger, I hope he doesn't watch the show, but when he was younger, he could, this is our oldest son, could feel energy. And I was talking to him about black obsidian and how energy stones can help with negativity and any negative energies he's feeling, but he could feel energy. I don't know if it was necessarily negative. Next thing I know, we go out in the backyard that same week, and there is a huge, I mean, boulder of black obsidian. And he started hammering and putting little chunks like this all around our house. And I still have a couple of those. We moved from that house, and I don't know, I never saw all the other ones, but this is the one I have left. It's a really crazy story, but yeah, that's what this is.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, that's a cool story. I love that. Wendy asked, was that me, Shannon, you gave the stone to?
No, you had a nice benefactor before me. But if I still had it and you needed it, I would give it to you.
Nice. Okay. If you're just joining us for the show, make sure you subscribe, like what we're doing here to help support us. Also, go ahead and drop your name in the comments because we are giving away a gift at the end of the show. So make sure to put your name in the comments so we can add you to the drawing for the end.
I love the gift giveaways. I think those are the best part.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, before we go to a little spookiness, we thought we would do the crystal healing. So everybody hold up your obsidian. We're sending protection and shielding from any negativity with the stone. So if anybody needs that, we're calling on our guides, spirit guides, angels, archangels, anyone watching over us, ancestors to be with us. And we're going to do a few minutes of sending out wonderful protection, healing energy to everyone. So here we go. And if you're with us, join us if you've got a black obsidian or if you just want to send some healing energy to everyone. This has a totally different feel than we usually do this.
Mhm.
It does.
All
Yeah,
right.
we need protection for what we're going to talk about. Spooky.
I know that.
Yes.
I think we're keeping it close to heart because my stone's not warming up at all. It's cold today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, who else? Did anyone else have anything we should share before we go on to the Halloween spooky?
Okay.
No?
I do, just real quick, because I was very
Yep.
excited about this. I got
Okay.
a present from a friend of mine. I got a new tarot card or oracle card deck, and it's
Oh my goodness.
Rumi.
Hold on. Let me
It's-
get you up.
Ooh.
It's Rumi. So I don't know. I mean, if you've ever read anything by Rumi, but this
Mhm.
oracle deck by Rumi, Alana Fairchild put it together, and I'm super, super excited to play with it very soon.
Going
Can
to
you show us
right?
a card? Can you show us the
show
art?
us the cards. Is it open? Show us some of the
It
cards.
is open. Of course, it's open.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
Isn't that
beautiful.
gorgeous?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do they have
Yes.
words on them or something? Or just
They
pictures?
do. So I haven't really dug into it yet, but like this one says Sacred Phoenix Heart.
That's so
Mm.
pretty.
This one is the lion and the deer. I mean, the artwork is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Ooh, I love this one. I didn't read it. Hold on. Star Mother Arrakis.
Nice.
Ooh.
Pretty.
Anyway, so I'm very excited to play with these this weekend.
Nice.
A little trip.
Yay.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Did you tell
excited too.
everyone where you guys are all going this weekend, or the majority of you?
We're going to
Yeah.
Sedona.
We're headed to Sedona.
Woo! So
Friday.
next month we will hear all about Sedona. I'm so excited. So okay. Wow. All right, ladies. So in the spirit of spooky
I love
Halloween
it.
season,
Nice.
I've got my hat on here.
So
So-
cute.
Got my
All
sweater.
right.
Love it.
This was my Halloween witch hat last year. So
Nice.
in the spirit of Halloween and spookiness, I wanted to bring up this topic today for us to all talk about. So I've been doing these trade shows, psychic fairs, to promote our upcoming app that's being released next month and our show. And I bought this at a craft show. It's a little bag. And I have it on my table at the trade show in front of the signs. And this is quite a polarizing subject. I didn't realize.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
I got a lot of different responses to this little bag sitting on the table, and I thought that it's Halloween, so let's bring this up. What does everybody feel about this? Have you used one? Let's talk about the Ouija board, right?
If somebody's listening to the podcast, Frankie is holding up this little bag, and it's a mock-up of the Ouija board.
Yes. So we want to talk about the Ouija board today and what it means to everyone. And I just want to go over, and maybe someone else has some too, but it said the Ouija board emerged from the spiritualism movement of the late 19th century, a time when Americans sought connection with the deceased after the Civil War. The inventor was Charles Kennard. Including Elijah Bond and William Funn, they developed a commercial talking board patented in 1890 called Ouija. Was reportedly spelled out by the board itself during a naming session, and it's supposed to mean good luck. The board became wildly popular through the marketing efforts of William Funn and is now owned by Hasbro. It's believed to communicate with the dead, and what else did I thought was interesting? Just the fact that they said it spelled out Ouija means good luck. I don't know what language, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So
I have a little
That
something
is
to add for that,
interesting.
Frankie.
yes,
There's some speculation that the word Ouija itself is oui, which is French for yes, and ja, J-A, is yes in German. So some people believe that it's yes, yes is what that means, and that it has been interpreted as good luck. And another little fun fact to throw on that as well, Hasbro has trademarked the name Ouija. many years ago. So anything that is not a Hasbro product is supposed to be referred to as a spirit board, sort of like the difference between a tissue and a Kleenex. You call it a Kleenex enough, you're going to destroy the patent on it. So we want to call it a tissue. So that's sort of the subtle difference of it. But we've been calling it Ouija board for, I don't know, 200 years almost.
About. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because
So
it's just like a tissue. Despite the name, you're still going to blow your nose in it.
You're still gonna blow your nose.
Shannon. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, we just do a Ghostbusters slime event right there or something.
Yeah.
All right, so raise of hand. How many of you have actually used a Ouija board? How many? 2? Just 2 of you. Okay. So tell us,
Frankie.
I'll tell you my story. I grew up with my grandma, raised me, and we had one in the attic where all the games were. And I was terrified to go buy this box. I don't know why. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't even want to open it. And when my girls were teenagers, my stepmother gifted my youngest daughter, one for Christmas. And I was surprised because we were raised Catholic, right? And I'm like, wait. And I think I made her throw it out because I didn't want it in the house. But again, here, going back, is my thought is like everything. And I explained this to the gentleman who was like, that's demonic and that's the devil work at the table, right? I don't know that I believe that. I guess I believe that every tool we use is set with our intention, right? Like you do spell work or anything you do in the metaphysical world or anything in general, it's all about your intention, right? If you pray, you're setting your intention to help someone, right? So in some way, yes, I believe you can open up, spirit if you're not protected and you're not cautious with what you do. But again, I feel like the setting has something to do with everything. And I feel like your intention when you're using it does. But that's just my personal belief. So, and I have no desire. I use a pendulum all the time, which is similar, but I have no desire to touch a Ouija board. I can't explain it. I just don't. But that's me. So I want to hear your opinions.
I am the same, Frankie. I will not play with one. I also would have thrown my daughters away if they had one. I am, for some reason.
Let me just clarify. You wouldn't have thrown your daughters away. You would have.
No, I would never throw my daughters away. But I would have absolutely thrown that gift away. Get out of my house. Not my daughters. The game.
The game.
The game.
The board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie, I agree with you as far as that the energy is what you intend for it to be. I don't believe in good and evil in the traditional sense. People like to brand people as evil easily, but I believe in low energy and high energy. And I think the way we all do. If you are playing around with forces that are really low, you are going to attract forces that are really low. And I think the Ouija board, a lot of times when those get pulled out at parties and other occasions, I don't think we're all sitting in the best of intention necessarily. And I think maybe that is part of the reason that we run into some trouble with that. Of course, Hollywood has done it a very big disservice, all of that as well. I was raised a little differently than a lot of people were. I had a very religious household and a very spiritual witchy sort of household that I was raised in. We didn't go buy a Ouija board. I wouldn't have even have known that you could buy them. My mom was always like, we'll just make one. She'd pull out a big sheet of cardboard, start writing all the letters out. We would take a little, like a brandy cup or something like this, flip it upside down, and everyone did the whole planchette thing that way. And we would do it for a while, and then things would start to get a little bonkers, and we would just tear it up and throw it away. And then we'd do it all again, many months or years later. So,
oh my gosh, I love that.
It was a weird way to grow up, looking back now, knowing that wasn't the experience of most people. But my mom was very creative and always doing stuff like that too. So it was kind of fun to just, gather around the Ouija board. And I don't know. It was strange. My sister, I think her vibration was always a little bit lower. So I think some of the things affected her more than the others of us. And so I really am of the opinion that You probably should leave them alone. I don't think I would have taught my daughter how to use one, but I think I'm inclined to leave them alone these days.
I think people should also have a healthy respect for it, like
Right.
any practice, because it's a tool. Anybody can use it for good or bad, depending on the energy and the intentions and so forth. But which is very important on what you're trying to bring in or what you're trying to use it for. But the cleansing afterwards is one of the most important things as well. And that's the issue that I have with being around it, because the experience I had, I didn't use it, but the experience of being around it the one time that it was not a good feeling in the whole situation. So for me, bringing in energy, I would not want to bring in that negative energy or be in a place where I did not know the person well enough to know that their cleansing practices or methods were not going to be protective of the group. Not to say it's a bad modality. It may work really well. Same thing with anything else that we explore. I like that we do that on the show, is that we bring it in to explore. It doesn't necessarily express that we all agree with it or that we're going to use it, but it's all leading us to the same path at some point or another. Some are going to be at a lower energy level to get there. Others are taking a little bit faster route but the same desire and the same location is going to be at the end of that path.
That is an excellent point, Shannon. I guarantee we did not cleanse. We had no idea that you were even supposed to do something like that. Yeah. And I think maybe that is part of the difference with a pendulum, is you do set a different intention if you're just a solo practitioner.
Right. Because, you can...
Yeah. Yeah. If you're just joining us, because I noticed there's some people on, drop your name in the comments because we're giving away a prize. But we are talking about the Ouija board. So, and our personal experiences and our feeling about it. So it's Halloween time. So who didn't tell us about it? Danelle and Miss Kendra?
Well, I tried it when I was with a friend. I was like maybe 12 or 13, and not a good experience. But at that age, you don't know the energies that can come in, and you don't know, like Shannon said, whether you need to cleanse or you're just opening yourself up. And it was not a good experience. And so for me, I'm not a fan. I'm just not. But I've also learned some of the people that I've met, before have used them, and their energy is phenomenal and they get good information. So I can have a respect for that. And especially like Shannon said, if you're cleansing or whatever, and then Val was saying, well, we didn't know to cleanse it. Neither did we. It was two girls and we ended up throwing it, and it landed in the back of her dad's truck. And then I was like, well, then what happens if he gets in an accident? And then we took it out of the truck, and then we threw it in the pool, and then we're like, oh no, somebody's going to drown. And then, I don't know what we did with it, but it was, 12 or 13, come on. We were terrified. Right. And it was nighttime.
Toss it in the fire and get marshmallows.
Wait, somebody gets burnt. Oh no.
That's what I would have thought. Yeah. Yeah. Not a fan though, but I'm not opposed to other people using it that know certain practices of cleansing and bringing in good energy.
I think if we were going to do it today, I think we would have a very different vibration that we'd bring to it.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kendra, any comments?
I've never used one personally. I was raised in a Christian home, and I do remember once, I might have been 6 or 7. I think my aunt in San Diego, we were at her and my uncle's house, and I think she was using it with my mom, and I don't remember whether my grandmother was there or not, but anyway, there was 3 or 4 of them, and there was a card table, And what I remember is that all of a sudden the card table like started walking across the room.
Table tipping, yes.
Yeah. And, you know, as a kid, like 6 or 7, I thought they were just messing with me, right? You know, I'm like, oh, you guys are funny. And I blew it off. But then later in life, my mom told me, no, that was actually like the spirits and the board. And that pretty much freaked me out enough to where I was never interested in touching one.
Yep.
But I love what everybody is saying here. And you guys have all made really good points that have opened my mind to it, which is, you know, have a respect for it and cleanse it. And the high energies, high vibrations versus low vibrations. And what is your intention? And I think that all those things are really important. And that's one of the reasons why I love this group, is because I've learned a lot just from this little conversation. And I think it's really amazing. So I appreciate it.
I think out in the world, we have too much hate already. We have too much division. We have too many polarizing topics. I like that we can have a healthy discussion and let people express what their viewpoint is without persecuting them for having it.
Oh, I agree.
That's the great thing about this group as well. And hopefully our, I was going to say readers, read this. No, I'm just kidding. Our listeners, hopefully our listeners will get that same feeling that we're trying to convey. I don't know everything. There was stuff I learned from Gary's talk that I found really fascinating. And that's the purpose of the show.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, it is. Thanks, Shannon.
No, thanks, Shannon. I think you spelled it out perfectly. I think, you know, the Ouija board appeals to young kids who don't have any ideas about protection or about cleansing or any of that. And that's then where you can invite in things that maybe you don't want. So this is great. I love talking with you guys about things. We do have the show next month in November. We are going to have a really great surprise announcement for the show. If you are here, and we have a few people still watching, if you are live with us, we are going to do the drawing for the giveaway. I've only had one person put their name on the comments. So if you want to be part of the live giveaway, we're giving away something in a few seconds here because it's the end of the show. Go ahead and drop your name in the comments. If you've used a Ouija board and you're watching, comment below. We want to hear what your thoughts are. What do you guys think as the listeners? That's part of what the show is about. It's including the listeners. That's why we do it live, so you guys can ask questions and be part of the show. If you are watching this recorded on YouTube, drop your comments about what we've talked about during the show. If you found it enjoyable or if you've used a Ouija board, we'd like to hear. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps support us to continue to bring you guys great content. Did we miss anything today? We did the reading. We did our crystal. Anyone else had anything to talk about?
I have an affirmation for today. And I think, again, it goes along with what Shannon talked about. I feel. Are you guys ready for it?
Yes.
And drop your name. So as soon as we're done with this, I'll go ahead and pull our name.
Hang on, Natalie. Let's get you on the center screen.
I'm trying to get you on the center screen. It's not
And
going to
in the meantime, not only do we have a special show next month, but we're going to have an extra special guest.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, exciting.
Yep.
Okay. So the affirmation today, and hopefully you take this through the holiday season. It is, I am grateful for the abundance of the harvest season and the blessings in my life.
Aww,
wonderful.
I like that.
Thank you.
So focus on gratitude. I am grateful for the abundance of the harvest season and the blessings in my life. And what I think I would love for all of us to focus on what we're grateful for.
I love that.
And
I love that.
Allow yourself to slow down and appreciate everything you have.
I just read something the other day that said like to start a grateful journal and every day write something you're grateful for in. And I thought that was like a great idea. Like, so
it just changes everything.
Well, astrologically for this month, it's the time to speak honestly and do the journaling. I'm supposed to be doing the astrology for the month, and it's kind of a long list. There's a lot of bleep going on this month. So if you want me
Tell
to
us.
go through it, I can give a short version because it's like, I don't know,
Yes.
five or six things going
Yes,
on.
yes.
Well,
We do.
October 6th, we just hit Mercury in Scorpio. So the meaning for that is like deep communication. So journaling, speaking honestly, having some kind of heartfelt conversations with people it's a good time for that. And we're still in it. And then October 13th, there's a couple things going on. So Venus goes into Libra, which is harmony, beauty, love. So reconnect. You can redecorate, do some self-care. And then the same time, October 13th, it's Pluto direct. So transformation, moving forward. So take action or make some changes. It's a good time to do that. So, and then October 22nd is Neptune into Pisces. So it's the reflection, intuition. Actually, I think a lot of October and early November is like introspection things. So a lot of being self-aware. So meditate or be creative. It's a good time for that. October 27th, a couple of things. Mars goes into Scorpio, so it's your drive, it's your focus. So finish up some big goals. And I'm not a numerologist by any means, but I do know we're in a 9-year, and a 9-year is endings. So if some of you out there that have been really going through it, it's because we're in a 9-year, meaning it's at the end of something. We're finishing things. And next year is going to be a 1-year, which is new beginnings. So if you're going through it, that's why. But also for October 27th, it's Mars into Jupiter, which is momentum and good luck. So take some bold action. And then October 29th is Mercury goes into Sagittarius, which is, optimism, wisdom. So plan or teach something new. That one hit me a little. I'm like, ooh, teach.
Yikes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. All right, great. Well, Natalie, I don't know. We only had Wendy throw her name out there, so
That's the only name I have. I even looked on Facebook just to make sure. But I love that Wendy said that she loved learning about Shannon's ear wrinkles. That was amazing. I also did that.
Now, in all seriousness, you might want to check if you do, because there are health issues associated with the creases in your earlobe. But I don't have those. But just to let you know, mine is, I'm going toward the board.
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Botox in the ears.
I hope it doesn't affect your hearing. I don't know.
What? Sorry.
I'm jealous of Wendy winning the prize.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Yay.
it's showing me 5 watchers are watching right now. So if you're watching, put your name in the comments in the next second, because we're going to give away something. And we only have one name.
And it's not a Ouija board, so don't.
You don't even have to put your name. You could just wave. Your name will show up. You could just wave, say hi.
Yeah, we're giving you a few more seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and give the prize away to Wendy. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We're excited for next month. We have a big announcement, so be sure that you're watching the second Wednesday of the month for the show. We're going to be live, and we've got some big announcements. So look for us at some local psychic fairs. We've been doing psychic fairs in Ohio and in Arizona, promoting our upcoming app and the show. And I guess since no one else has dropped their name in, Wendy, you win the gift today. Yay!
Yay!
Go, Wendy. Go, Wendy.
Go, Wendy.
Actually, Danelle can probably describe what it is.
All right.
The prize?
Yeah, so the prize, tell them what the prize is. Gary was gracious enough to.
Yes, you're doing a mini clearing, a mini pranic healing with Gary that was just on the show today. And it's short, but it is powerful. So I think she's going to enjoy it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's worth it.
She'll have to tell us about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
Next month
if
you'll
she
have
wants,
to tell us,
of course.
Wendy.
Yeah.
We want to thank our guest, Gary. He was awesome at the end. You will see a way to contact him. You can also go to our website at alittlebitofkindness.org, and you will see all of our practitioners listed there. We also started our new service provider page. So if you're looking for services from any of us, we have Shannon there offering human design readings. Kendra, tell us what are some of the offerings you put on the services for people to book, and these are all remote. You can Google Meet in and have a session. What are you offering us, Kendra?
So I'm offering either angel Reiki sessions, again, virtually, or guided meditation. I have a yoga nidra guided meditation, and I do it intuitively. So it is based on a one-on-one, like depending on the person, and a chakra balancing guided meditation.
Great.
So,
And Danelle, tell us what services you added on to the site.
Well, I'm doing energy healing. I also do intuitive energy healing. I also can teach you how to connect to your own spiritual energy and learn what that feels like for you. And then I can also do just individually some energy clearing in the chakras of what may be going on in each chakra for you. I talk a lot during that one. So, yeah.
Great. All right. And Shannon, do you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say, well, mine's intuitive as well as far as the quantum human design reading. So I offer two, either a 20-minute or a full hour. But if you liked our show, please remember to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Add a comment.
and if you don't want to miss if you don't want to miss a show, click the bell. If you're on YouTube, click the subscription and the notification bell.
Absolutely. Val's going to be offering some services soon. So tell us, Val, what will you be offering when you're?
I do intuitive tarot reading, oracle reading, and I also am an evidential medium.
Great.
So connecting with loved ones across the veil.
Perfect. And I do tarot and oracle readings, and I do healing and shamanic Reiki through virtual sessions as well. So check out. We'll be adding more practitioners as the app gets launched, and also as we offer more services for you guys. So we love to have you. Thank you for joining the show today. Like and subscribe, please, and follow us. And we will see you guys next month. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Remember, spread a little bit of kindness.
Sprinkle a little kindness
Everywhere you go.
Everywhere you